Okay, everybody, this is JD. Since I'm not president, I guess I can talk about some of my ideas this way. This is for the American automotive companies more than anything else. I'm talking about you, Ford, and I'm talking about you, GM. Chrysler, you make your vehicles in Canada. You got to start making vehicles here in the United States. People, I'm going to tell you a little story about something. Is it going to work? I don't know. But you people in the automotive industry and you people who have the gas stations in this country, listen and listen very carefully. A long time ago, not too long ago, somebody came up and developed this machine for office use. And everyone said, oh, it's not going to be that much, it's not going to be that much, but IBM went into and developed it. And they talked about it possibly being in every home, and that people said, no, it will never be. It'll be too expensive. One person believed that was going to be what was going to happen. He had some foresight into the future. So he developed a program for those machines. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a little company called Microsoft and the gentleman Bill Gates, who now is probably, the richest man in the world, on something that they said no, no, no. And he has a very sound company. Well, how does this pertain to the automotive? Well, General Motors, look at what you've been doing for all these years. Who is the major producer of the giant station wagon? Yeah, the giant station wagon. You don't call it a station wagon, you call it an SUV. But it's nothing more than a giant station wagon that uses a lot of gas. You put all your money into that one bag of, and look what happened. Are you going to continue to follow the Europeans and the Japanese? Or are you going to start going into the future? What am I talking about? And why do I say this takes the gas companies? General Motors and Ford get together with two other groups. A major fuel producer in this country and a NASCAR team. Put hydrogen cars on the road. They will sell. You put hydrogen cars on the racetracks, on your teams. You put hydrogen cars winning NASCAR races. People are going to want them. Hydrogen, to somebody out there, must realize the potential of replacing fossil fuels. Hydrogen could be used to smelt steel. Imagine steel factories producing steam instead of carbons in the air. Also, making hydrogen produces a byproduct, oxygen. Oxygen is the cooling element in the atmosphere. It would offset the carbons. Oh my gosh, look at what we're talking about here. General Motors and Ford, quit trying to put a short-term fix to a real problem. Hydrogen burnt produces water vapor in the atmosphere. That's what keeps the planet cool. It shields the planet from the sun. Hydrogen could be used for turning turbines at electrical generating plants. My gosh! Jet engines could be run off of hydrogen on naval vessels. They could be producing their hydrogen right there on the ship. I don't know what it's going to take to get you people to start seeing there is a future and we can be the leaders or we can be the followers. Bill Gates developed Microsoft. He took a chance into the future. And look at where he sits now. GM has been following. Look at where it sits now. It's time for the American industry to start being the leaders. It's time for jobs to be built in this country on tomorrow's technology. BP, British Petroleum, right next to every fossil fuel station or gasoline station you can have a hydrogen. It wouldn't be hard to do. In 5 years from now, this country could be running on hydrogen-powered vehicles. GM, you can develop a conversion kit that will take your cars from, let's say, 1990 or newer to convert it to hydrogen. You know it wouldn't take much. The federal government could subsidize the hydrogen development. And that's where you can get out of your hole. The first on everything of the future is always the winner. Bill Gates was the first at developing programs for the computer that worked. He was the winner. Hydrogen's been around and has been telling us indirectly, hey, I'm here, use me. Thing about hydrogen is you can really build a perpetual motion machine with hydrogen. You enclose its exhaust, you give it the water, you develop the water into hydrogen, you burn the hydrogen to turn the engine, the exhaust goes back as water vapor into the tank, cools, and becomes water again. And you leave the oxygen in the tank also as a closed-in system. You will have a perpetual motion machine. A real perpetual motion machine that will run forever using water. This planet is covered by 3/4 of it water. Water is giving life to where there is none. You can take a desert and put water in it and it will create life. You can take the water and split it. Oxygen we put it in hospitals to help people heal. And the hydrogen can run our machines to produce the power we need. It's time for you people to realize the potential and to utilize it. Wind power, yes, it's going to be a nice one. So will the solar power. But the truth is, hydrogen is where the future lies. When are you going to wake up and see it, GM? Or do you have to fold and go out of business? I wish I wasn't such a bad speller. I wish I didn't have the problems. I wish that I could write as fast as I think, but I can't. And luckily these videos give me a way to express what I need. You all have a nice day. And remember, this is JD. This is just one of many things that is yet to come.